Okay, I'm trying again to bring Josie in to the video. Trying to find Josie's name. Okay, it says it. Okay, you again. And again, it's still just flashing adding. Sorry guys, this really isn't supposed to be this hard. Again, it's flashing adding Josie, but it's not adding you on.
Hi!
Oh,
So sorry. I was trying to add it. It was going crazy.
you and me both, and I got out of my truck and I'm sitting, so you're going to hear all the traffic and everything.
You're fine.
Okay, so of course, I know who you are, and I'm quite sure most of my friends do. But why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about you?
So I'm Josie Lindberg. I'm Nevada High School rodeo queen. I'm born and raised in Las Vegas, Nevada. Proud to be here. And I'm 15 years old. I'm a sophomore in high school. And I love to do this. This is my favorite thing in the world. So I'm glad I get to share it with a ton of other people.
Okay, I'm actually trying to move so that you don't hear the traffic quite so much, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose my signal. This is bad. Okay, so of course, I probably, like I said, I probably know more about you than a lot of people. Um, so, is there something that you think for not just rodeo royalty, but high school rodeo people trying to get into what you do? Do you have pointers for people that you think people don't know that they should?
I had this question last night from a cute little girl. Rodeo cleaning is not as easy as everybody thinks it is. I know it looks really easy, and I'm glad that it looks really easy. But as far as high school rodeo cleaning, it is a different level than anything else. Honestly, know a lot about the rodeo, know a lot about your rule book. Practice your rule book like it's the Bible. Make sure you know your stuff. When you get to the arena, you don't want to be the girl that shows up and doesn't know what's going on. Make sure you know your horse equine. You want to be very knowledgeable. The first rule about rodeo queening is yes, I look really cute and I look really pretty when I get there, but I can outquiz any cowboy there. And so that's your real job as rodeo queening.
Okay. Now, I have a question because I know you have a ton of horses. Do you use just a certain specific horse for when you're doing your actual queening stuff, or do you just use one of your rodeo horses?
So this is a really good question. Um, Queens, if you're really into the queening thing, use a reining horse or a queen horse that was specifically made for outdoor events like queening, parades, or doing grand entry. But I don't have one of those. I actually use just whatever horse that I rodeo on that I feel like is best for that event. last night I took my team roping horse with me to the grand entry, and he did great. So I feel like, you know what, it's not a big deal to do it on your rodeo horses, and it feels, better to do it on them. You're more comfortable. You get to see them every weekend. So honestly, I don't think I have a preference.
Okay. Do you also, like if you go or an invited guest to a rodeo, are you hopping on just any horse there?
So depending on the rodeo, I went to the Las Vegas rodeo last night, and luckily it's my hometown rodeo, so I brought my own horse. But there are times where I do have to get on stock contractors' horses or friends' horses or something. That's another thing about being a rodeo queen is learning how to just get on and do your thing and being very flexible with everybody else.
I'm sorry. I'm hearing the motorcycles behind me. Okay. Tell me about, or all of us, tell us about all of your horses.
So I actually have 5 horses, which is a crazy amount for a 15-year-old girl. I have a blue roan. He's my team roping horse. He's really my go-to queen horse. He is just awesome, and he's always been my queen horse since I was little. I have my cutting horse because I do cut on the weekends. So I have my cutting horse, and I have a paint, very cute paint. That's my brother's that I just decided I would steal. I thought I'd just steal him to, make him a barrel horse. And so he's now become my little love of my life. And I have Sam, and he was my queen horse at nationals. I loved him dearly. He's so cute. And I think that's it. And I have my one calf horse, and she's old grandma, and she just loves to come with me down the rodeo. And, I love all my horses.
Okay, so you got rid of some barrel horses.
I did. I had this cute horse that was my queen horse forever, and he did everything, and I gave him to a little girl, and now she runs barrels and poles on him and does her own thing, and he just loves doing what he loves to do, and you know what, that makes your heart happy for anybody.
Okay. So, do you have any more horses that when you're doing your cleaning or barrel racing or whatever, that you also have to practice saddle broncs like you used to?
No, I do not anymore. Usually they're pretty good for me. But every once in a while, when I'm warming up in the warm up pen, it does get a little branch bronc because I have to hold on to my saddle horn to make sure I don't fall off.
Okay. We just had a question pop up that says, so what does a practice schedule look like for queens?
Actually, that's a great question. So, this question I don't get very often, but I am a rodeo queen, but I compete in 6 events. So, my average day is a little different than every other rodeo queen's life. I practice, I get up in the morning, and I get on my horse, and I ride 5 horses in the day. And then after that, I practice rodeo queening, and I practice my knowledge, which is a really good thing to do to keep your mind sharp for rodeo queening. And then I have school because I have to remember I am a teenage girl. I still have school. So I do my schoolwork, and then the day is over with. So practice schedule throughout the week is pretty simple, but it is a lot of work. I rope my dummies every week. I make sure my horses are rode, make sure they're fed and, bathed, and they look very pretty. So I'm very proud that my schedule's been pretty easy lately.
Well, that's good. Um, what's it like for your parents for your schedule?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a lot for my parents, only because I go almost every other single weekend, going up and down the road and going 8 hours at a time or 2 hours or wherever we're going. They're happy enough to pick up their time and, go wherever I need to go. So I'm very blessed to have great parents that support me in my dreams.
Okay, and that goes pretty much along with this question that just popped up. What is your favorite event and what is your future plans?
So, my favorite event would probably have to be Breakaway because you know what? It is a new incoming event in the PRCA and WPRCA. So, it is a good thing and it's growing like crazy. It's growing like weeds. Everybody's getting into it. It's a new event. It gives the women in the PRCA another event, just like Cowboys. So I believe that, it's a great event that comes on, and it teaches young girls really that, we can make a change in PRCA and in the world because we have now made a new event. And so that's a great thing. Um, I would say that my goals, at least for 2022, would to be, you know, make sure that I have an influence on other people. I really do love my job as much as I do it. I love talking to little kids. I love being around them. I love dressing up like a rodeo queen and putting my makeup on. It is a real joy to me. I'd say my future plans in life would be to run for Miss Rodeo America, but first I'd have to run for Miss Rodeo Nevada. So hopefully that is in my mindset, my dreams. It sure is right now. Things can always change, but that is what I'm really striving for.
Okay. Who are some of the biggest influences that you've had in your life?
Of course, my parents are a big influence in my life. I love them dearly, and they're so great, and they definitely influence my life every single day. I'd have to say if I had one role model or influence in my life, it'd probably be Pam Mimic because, she really shows us, you can be a rodeo queen, you can be a cowgirl at the same time and be good at both. And that's a true rodeo queen.
Okay. So, I know when I first started this out, I had a suggestion to bring on rodeo royalty. And of course, it's not something I'm really familiar with. But if if little girls want to start out, because I know you started as a very little girl, which you're not very big right now, but um, how do they get started? What's the things they need to do to get started?
So, of course, we are based on different kind of judged events. So we're based on personality, congeniality, which is your appearance to other people and your contestants, and horsemanship, modeling and speech. So your spokesmanship, the way you walk, the way you talk, you have to act like a rodeo queen throughout everything. But most importantly, I'd have to say is your horsemanship because just like we were talking about earlier in that one question, you have to be able to jump on anything and make it look good. It just has to do because that's your job. So I think to get started, work on your horsemanship a lot. It's a lot about who you are and a lot about how you ride. You can always work on yourself later and about how to polish yourself.
Do you need sponsors?
Yes, sponsors are great. Sponsors are better. If you have the support from your family or whoever, you know what? It is great. But sponsors are a good thing to reach out to just to have them. It's kind of like having good friends in low places. They're a good thing to have when you need some cash to go down the road, or, you know, it's a good thing to get their name out and get your name out there.
Okay. Anything else that maybe you've been asked that you think people need to know or should know, or just you think you want to tell them?
I think the biggest thing I've ever been asked is, um, what's your biggest piece of advice? And really, to young girls that want a rodeo queen, be yourself, be true to you. There's no better thing than being true to yourself. I know everybody tells you that, and it sounds very generic and very cheesy, but it's true. When you go to a rodeo queen competition, you will see tons and tons of girls that are either putting on faces or fronts, or they're so nervous that they can't just be themselves. Rodeo queening is really about being authentic and really being you in the truest form.
Okay. Here's another question. How did you find your brand?
My brand. This is a really good question. So, everybody has a brand. It doesn't matter who you are. You have a brand. It's just like having a trademark. Um, but you really have to just work on yourself, and you have to say, who do I want to be? Who am I trying to be? What kind of image am I putting out to the public? So that really is my personal brand, and together, with all your people around you and support you, you can put it together really quick.
Okay. I'm looking to see if there's any more questions right now. I'm not seeing any more. Um, so when we do wrap this up, I usually tell people that they can ask questions later and you'll come back and answer them. So I know you're very busy, but as long as they tag you or whatever, I'm sure you would be more than happy to answer more questions.
Yes.
Okay. Are you done with the Las Vegas rodeo?
I am. Last night was the last night, and I wrapped it up, and I was so excited. It was such a great time. I was glad I got to experience and be there, and just feel the atmosphere of my own hometown rodeo.
And where do you go next?
Next, I'm going to the high school rodeo this weekend. I'm going to Logandale, and I'm excited I get to carry the flag and being the grand entry this weekend.
So you're not normally in the grand entry?
I am. Most of the time I'm in the grand entry. Sometimes I've got events that are right after that or things I got to do. But this weekend's extra special because I get to carry the flag this weekend. So get to carry the Old Glory in the arena. So that will be a big thing for me.
Okay. We do have another question. What do you get to do during NFR? Anything with the Queens?
I do. I'm actually going to the Miss Rodeo America pageant during the NFR to go, see it, scope it out. You know, um, the one big thing about rodeo queening, especially if you already are a rodeo queen, is going to watch other kind of pageants. It's a, good learning experience for everybody. And so I'm going there and I'll be walking around the convention center and all my stuff and going to support and just be there for everybody and just do a ton of things. I'm excited to, just be at my hometown and to have the Las Vegas rodeo back, and to be at the NFR in Vegas.
Do you have a favorite color to wear?
I do. I really love the color pink. I really think it is my personality. It's been my favorite color since I was little, and I still think it's a great color. I love it on me. It really just enhances, my personality, and I just love it. It's a great color.
Very good. So after Logandale, what's your next high school rodeo?
We don't have one until February in Pahrump. So we have a break in the winter because it gets a little too chilly to rodeo up north. So we have a break, but then we're back to rodeoing all fall. So.
Oops. That's what happens when you sit in the parking lot. Okay. You said you compete in 6 events. What all do you compete in?
So I compete in barrels, poles, goats, cutting, breakaway, and team roping.
Wow. Okay. Do you haul a different horse for each event?
Some horses of mine do 2 events, some of them do 1 event. My team roping horse only does 1 event. He's kind of an old guy. You know why? He gets to just relax and, do his job and gets to go back to his stall and eat his hay. But my calf horses, my goat horse, and my breakaway horse work on her plate with the others.
I think I just lost you. I'm moving again because there's more motorcycles out here again. It's getting really loud. So I moved, but I almost lost you in moving. Okay, well, nope, that's the same question that was on there. Okay, I think, seeing as how I keep losing you and it's so noisy, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up unless you can think of something else that you would like to share with people.
I don't think there's anything else. I think pretty much I covered everything that's really true about being a rodeo queen. I think if there's any more questions, I'm happy to answer. I'm on my phone all the time. I'm a teenager, so I'm on my phone all the time. So I will get back to the questions that I can. So I'm excited about everything.
Okay, thank you very much. And
thank you for having me.
Oh, it was a pleasure to have you as always. It's always great to see you. And do tell your mom I said hello.
I will.
Okay, hon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Okay.